Welcome to this week's Youth and Policy podcast. I'm your host, Ben Krause. I'm joined here with Conor, Cowboy Conor. How you doing today?
I'm not bad. Thank you.
Awesome. So today we're going to be talking about comedy and politics. Probably a pretty fun episode. But before we start talking about that, how'd you get into political TikTok for the people that don't know you?
I originally got into political TikTok for environmental reasons. I had a few environmental awareness videos. And I actually saw Johnny Keys. I don't know if you're familiar with his political TikTok account. And he had those videos where he was like POV Republican and he was walking towards the camera with a funny caption. And that's the first video I had that blew up. I did something related to medical professionals and COVID-19. And that was kind of my beginning. And then I started I extended from just environmental issues and started talking about kind of everything.
Yeah, and Conor, you've amassed 530,000 followers on TikTok. That is a big feat, and a big portion of that is because of these comedy political TikToks that you've done.
And so I have a second account as well, which was
and he has a second account where he posts just random funny stuff that I find really enjoyable. But we can get into why comedy and politics is important. So why do you think comedy and politics is important, specifically when it pertains to the youth?
I mean, I think specifically like our political climate right now, like it's just unappealing for the youth, to be quite honest. Like people like often told me like when I first started posting, especially when I was like more just like mixing like blatant like non-political humor and then political stuff, they were like, "Oh my God, I'm pressing uninterested, like get out of here with this stuff." And I think I literally see comedy, like simply stated, as kind of a gateway into politics. It's like a sugar-coated way to propose very serious public affairs to people who may not want to hear about a said topic. So I really do see it as somewhat of a sugarcoat, but it doesn't have to be a sugarcoat all the time. You know, like there's several uses for it.
Yeah. And I'd like to talk about some of your specific characters that you have. One of them being Mitchell. What's the story behind Mitchell for the audience?
So I'm a big supporter of Black Lives Matter, and I sell it in lots of different ways. And I think Mitchell so a lot of people think these characters, like, it's from where I am. I live in Seattle, Washington. I'm not around, and none of my family members even have an accent. Even my extended family in the Midwest does not have a Southern accent. I have no idea where this character is coming from. But what I can infer is that it's from my comment sections. And so we would literally take comments, like all of it's improv. We don't script anything and we like redo it every time if like there's a mess up just because it makes it original. But like a lot of like my talking points are inspired by comments. So it's kind of like turning my comments into characters. A lot of people don't know that. But yeah, like I was literally pulling these talking points out of my comment sections and just turning them into characters because it's just funny. And I mean, that's basically the story behind my characters. And they kind of people think is funny.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Mitchell is a back the blue person who kind of idolizes these police officers, and it's really funny to watch. So I'm assuming you've kind of liked comedy your entire life. So did you find it easy to integrate comedy into politics, or has this been something that you've kind of had trouble doing?
Yeah, so I've like I'm kind of like I'm a clown sometimes. Like definitely I am an obnoxious clown at times, I'd say, during my childhood. But like I was one of those clowns that like was funny and then had like specific academic interests. Like I could separate comedy. And so like realistically before TikTok, I would like joke around a lot. But I would also like before TikTok, like in terms of my academia, like I would like when I was talking about politics or environmental issues, whether it be for a school presentation or a community presentation before TikTok, it was dead serious. Like I didn't combine the two before TikTok. And so, yeah, I guess like I was a funny guy and a political guy, but they were separated, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So do you think it was easy to integrate them? Like once you had the idea, like, oh, I'm going to make comedy and political content, did you find it easy, or was that kind of hard to find where to put the comedy and where to put the actual facts in?
I think it was easy on the platform being TikTok. Like TikTok has there's just not only inspiration everywhere, but like the sounds, the effects, the trends. It's so easy to spin something off to like push a certain narrative. Like it's honestly the perfect platform to combine comedy with subjects that you may not consider compatible with comedy. So I think like TikTok made the process easy.
Yeah, for sure. And we see a lot of people kind of following suit with the comedy TikTok kind of thing. Do you think
Mhm.
this is a new kind of, I'm not going to say branch of politics, but do you think this is going to be like a new level of politics going in the future, specifically with the youth growing up around this kind of comedy infused
Yeah,
politics?
one of the most exciting things I saw from my content is like actually people like redoing my trends. I had no problem with that. And I think that like although I know a lot of people like I'm an I'm an easily digestible political channel. I know my audience. I know who I'm attracting, and so no, I'm not going to debunk the ECP on my channel. That being said, yeah, I feel like comedy I'm not saying I'm solely responsible for this, but I feel like we've extended the audience of political TikTok by integrating comedy as much as possible. And like personally, and I know others have adapted this posting style, it's quite literally a satirical video and informational video. A satirical video and informational video. Not only do the two pop off each other in terms of like views and interaction, content interactions, but it makes it is your account is suddenly very digestible to the odd person, and the odd person might just find one of your jokes funny out of the political context and then see one of your informational videos and be like, oh cool, that's not that bad, like he can do both. And I think a lot of people are doing that, and it's growing our audience significantly.
So do you think because of TikTok and because of this comedy infused politics, you think you see Gen Z uh, generations after that being more politically, I guess, knowledgeable, more politically literate, because of this infusing between comedy and politics?
Yeah, it'd be difficult to like put the responsibility on comedy or just like the platforms we have access to on social media. But like, yeah, I'm illiterate. Yeah. Because I mean, we just have like we have a more diverse knowledge base, I guess. Whether said information is like correct or not is up to determine. There's a lot of bias, obviously, but yeah, I'd say like the combination of comedy with like a very easily accessible platform has contributed to Gen Z being more involved and knowledgeable. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what's also interesting to see is that we have all sides of the spectrum kind of adding to this comedy kind of thing. So like if you see like a funny post like bashing on the left, will you like give it like be like, oh yeah, kudos to them, that's like a funny video.
Yeah, no, I definitely do to a certain extent. Like obviously there's a double standard there. Like there literally is, and that's fine. I've kind of accepted that. I see people like for example my new kind of strain that I've been doing is like I play like a happy song and then like do a dance and then have like a caption like conservatives win so and so. And a lot of people have been doing that with liberals, and it's like regardless of what they're saying is true or not, like fair play, I guess.
Yeah.
I think there's no reason why they cannot do that. I have no like specific problem with them using comedy in a similar way that I do. I don't have a problem with that.
So I guess what I'd ask you next is do you see this bringing civility back into politics kind of?
Ooh, I don't know if it brings civility. I think to a certain population maybe, but a lot of people get really mad. And I do worry about that sometimes. And don't worry, like a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, Connor, you constantly bash people." I think people that know me or have like had a discussion with me understand that I'm not about just bashing people, but I am about if like I guess like if you look at the pros of what I'm doing, I'm trying to break down barriers. I hope that even some people that disagree with my videos can have a chuckle, and that literally is my intention. I swear to God. But people that just develop a negative attitude towards me just tend to get very upset about my videos, and sometimes a little bit out of pocket. And I think I am out of pocket at times. So I think there's a certain aspect of my videos that encourage out of pocket behavior, and there's another that are like through that behavior breaking down barriers, hopefully. So I would say it's still like a net positive, but there's definitely negatives attributed to
Yeah,
it.
no, there's definitely the haters that are like, oh my god, why'd you make
Yeah,
such a
I
bad
mean,
video about me?
just like a thing for advice. If you don't like my videos and you comment on one of my POVs, like it's not a good idea because everyone's gonna assume that it's you in my video. Like typically, the people that are mad are like getting called out. I don't know. It's fine.
And like you said, you take your ideas from the comments. So if you comment on one of Cowboy Connor's videos,
Yes,
you might be the next POV. But
wonder like I'm like I wonder if like people realize that. I never like respond to the specific comment. I just build my characters like freestyle. But like I wonder if people that comment they're like, oh my god, this MF just made a skit about me. I don't know.
yeah, so So how many characters do you have now? I know you have Mitchell, who's like your back the blue kind of guy. I know you've had a couple other people, or
Yeah,
is Mitchell
I
kind of
have
like
like
your
I have,
is Mitchell kind of like your ongoing character, or
yeah, Mitchell's my most popular one just because it's like a back the blue bootlicker type thing. But then I also have Ronnie, who's like my older character, who's kind of like very socially conservative. And then I have like two others that are like kind of like I have one guy that's um like kind of like misogynistic, and then I have another one that's like I guess I have like two Ronnies, racist Ronnie and then homophobic Ronnie. I guess I don't know, but it's like Ronnie and Mitchell.
yeah. And I guess and I think what people don't realize specifically about you is that they see your comment and like, oh, he's just a jokester, but you post informational content also, and you're very knowledgeable in what you post. So I mean, what would you say to the people that just think that, oh, I'm just a comedy political TikToker. I'm not super duper knowledgeable.
Yeah, I see my satirical content get weaponized against me like on a daily basis. And at first it actually really pissed me off because I post a stupid video and then people are like, "Wow, y'all are really listening to this guy about other stuff." And that honestly annoyed me. And it's an ongoing problem. Like because I got jokes sometimes, I just get like my credibility is just kind of frowned upon. And like it's whatever, honestly. Like if you have a problem with me making jokes and then in the next video like having a serious tone of voice, that's up to you. I don't know.
You
All I
know,
ask is that you judge me by the content of my informational videos and don't like cross reference. But yeah,
and like you said, you've grown an audience from the people that like the comedy stuff, from the people that like the informational stuff, and you give the informational stuff to the people that like the comedy stuff, and like you said, they're learning from it, whether they like what they're learning or not, whether they take it or
Mhm.
not, that's up to them. But you are at their disposal to give them their stuff.
Mhm.
So I guess like you said, you have another account. I don't. Is it Jiggin? It used to be Jiggin White
So
Boy, right?
it's big and white boy, but yesterday I don't know what happened. I like was like editing my profile and I somehow changed my username to like it's like Jiggin OG. I guess that's sort of cool for a mistake, like orange juice or
I'm
like I don't
Jiggin
know. But yeah,
OG.
it's
I'm,
Jiggin OG, and that's like almost at 200K, which has been super fun because it's like non-political, which is
yeah,
really
and
cool.
then that's non-political. So like I saw the other day that you were posting like just dad stuff, like when they're going out to eat.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
like yeah, no,
Yeah.
that stuff's funny. Like whether you don't believe it, agree with his politics or not, like that's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy that you're getting out your funny side on political
Yeah,
and
and the
non-political TikTok.
rationale behind that account is like why that account was made kind of related to what we're talking about. Okay, I wasn't in the creator fund on my other account, and like this account, my other account is a way for me to make a little bit of money off that because I don't make any money off my main account. But the other reason why I wanted to make that second account was to give people more like to have people relate to me on a more personal level. I think that's so important. It's something I've always focused on building my platform. Like a lot of people call me out like, oh well, MJ is like all these people are like they have so much better content. I don't even disagree. I learned so much from these people. But like I came on TikTok to make a difference and reach the largest audience possible and get as many people engaged. And that is my objective. And so like I'm constantly just trying to relate to people. I'm trying to get people's attention and I'm trying to get people involved with politics. I honestly could not care less if once I get them involved, they move further left or further right. Obviously, I have bias in my videos, but I just want to get our generation involved. And that's why I try to incorporate comedy or even just defer from politics altogether in certain videos. I just want to I almost want to like normalize getting political. I know that might sound like depressing, but I've also
No,
been able
no,
to like develop relationships with other big TikTok creators. And I'm not going to like name all these names. I don't know, but like it is so awesome to me that big TikTok creators are okay with following me and being associated with me despite some negative like things that could come along with that with their said audience, you know what I mean? And like
yeah,
that's really cool to me. So,
yeah, and I think I'm of course not attributing it to only you, but I do think that you're a big part of it. Some big creators are starting to make kind of more political content. I think one of the biggest
yeah.
one being Stixie. Stixie's starting to make some more political content here and
We got
there.
Mr. Bruno. We even had Polo Boy. Like the thing that I did with, I think one of like the coolest trends I've started, and I know there was actually a little bit of lashback for this, but it was like the trans trend, like the accepting the trans kids. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah,
see
yeah,
that. And like
yeah.
we got Polo Boy doing that. We got all these big creators doing this, and they got serious lashback from their audience, and they kept the videos up like absolute G's that they are. You know, that's cool.
Yeah, no, that is for sure cool. And I guess while we're wrapping this up, we can go into some more stuff that you're talking about. What was
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think like ever since like we've incorporated comedy and like myself and others have been doing this, I've personally seen a lot of growth on a lot of these political TikTok accounts. Like obviously we had an election coming up and there was like a lot of hype around the like political subjects. But even after the election, we still have a lot of account growth on a lot of these political accounts. Not necessarily even talking about the election, but I just think that our audience has just grown so much larger. I don't know.
Yeah, you have a big kind of stand following now of a bunch of people that I don't really know what stand means, but
I don't know
apparently
what it means either. But yeah, no, we have, and like again, it gets weaponized against me. Like I'm not taken seriously in the political TikTok community. That's fine. It's honestly okay. I know I'm not like a traditional. I'm kind of like in both worlds. Like I don't touch on deep subjects a lot. Like for example, when I'm talking in a live stream, definitely seem like a different person sometimes than like in my informational videos. Like I just don't talk about certain things because I know my audience. But like that's a part of the game, man. It's literally a part of the game. It's all part of the game.
I think the growth can also be attributed to just Ilya's live streams on Twitch.
Yes. Oh my god, bro, it's been ridiculous, and
It's
like
crazy.
everyone's live streams.
And everyone's live stream. Yeah, once people started to go on Twitch, it all started to change because we got like the you American Hannah, typical Democrat, and Paul sometimes. Like
Yep.
you guys go live, you guys get a bunch of viewers. Ilya goes live with Jonah and all them and you, and they get a bunch of viewers, and
Yeah.
they're just attracting more people. Like
Yeah, and
it's
hopefully they
honestly
can relate to us, man. We don't even talk politics like 90% of the time in those lives, man.
yeah, it's awesome. Well, Connor, thank you for joining me once again.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
Yeah, let me know
I,
whenever. It's
I think the first time that we actually had you on the podcast, you were at like 30K.
wow. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
You
I
you
think I
gained
remember the first time I got on this podcast was my first gang pull up vid, which that trend, like I had posted the gang pull up trend like 20 minutes before I went on your podcast, and that trend took me from like 40K to like 150K
yeah.
over the span of like 1 week. That's just crazy. Like the time frame, it was literally the same day that I posted that same video.
Was that like the moment that you were like, wait, this comedy thing can kind of get me some growth and
Yep,
get
yep.
people
Because
involved.
right after the gang pull up vid, we did a random Mitchell skit. Like it was Ronnie. Ronnie was our first character. A random Ronnie skit back to back, and that like I think oh my god, this was the craziest 4 days. I think I got like almost 100K in 4 days. Like first it was like the gang pull up vid, and then right after that it was like the I don't support Black Lives Matter because it's a Marxist terrorist organization. I don't care if you're black, purple, and that got like 400K. And then we did a Ronnie one about LGBTQ, and that one blew up. And then we did Mitchell the day after that, and then we did another Mitchell. So we had 4 in a row that got like over 500K likes. It was ridiculous. That was literally when comedy like took. That's when I like actually built. Suddenly, I had a split fan base. You know what I mean? And that was interesting. It was difficult to work with, but it was very productive.
Yeah, but you say we an hour. Do you have like a little team that you film these with in a?
Yes. Okay, I need to give more credit. Definitely put this in the stream. So I film with 2 other people. Obviously, due to COVID, we don't see anyone else. We're extremely safe about it. Fact check us. Do us. No, we're so safe. It is literally me and 2 other people.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. So usually, what we do is like we like sit in the car, and we kind of have a political topic we want to touch on, and we look for a sound, or we think of like a character that would fit this well. And then I don't know if you guys have seen the camera work, but the camera work is so sick. And so like they have these jokes kind of like down just like I do. And like they switch off filming, and there's no correlation between like one of my filmers like Chris and then Caesar. Like they have their own individual filming styles. Some of you guys actually even learn and can guess who's filming each video, but it's literally a think tank. It's literally us 3 every single video. All my informational videos I post alone, and some of my comedy ones are alone, but like a lot of the big videos have been a group effort. Not only that, but like I've been ever since like I've had like 10K. I've been like been able to talk with a lot of people in the community. So like I talked to like Paul and Kaz were my
Yeah.
first two friends, and like they started doing comedy like similar to what I did, and I kind of adapted some of their content. And so yeah, like this was all a group effort. Like a lot of it, like yes, I thought of these ideas, but to like really pull it out and produce it on the scale that I have been able to, like it's seriously been not only like with like the people I film with, but just by like the community as a whole has been really cool.
Yeah, sidetracking to talking about the Polytalk community, they're a good group of people that are on
Yeah.
Polytalk. I mean, of course, there's like the few people that are not wanted,
Yeah.
but,
No, yeah,
but for the most part,
Yeah.
they're all really chill people in there. It's been a pleasure to talk to most of them. So yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. But thank you for joining us this week. Hopefully, this won't be the last time. But yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yep. All right.
See you guys
Take care,
next
man.
week. Peace out.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to continue to support us, you can do so by checking out our Instagram pages at Youth in Policy and at Watch Verbum. You can also look at our website at www.yipinstitute.com. Make sure to follow our page as we upload weekly. Have a great day.